What's up, guys? My name is Chloe Dordashian. I'm a Day 1 Texas Chain Saw Massacre player and horror ASM enjoyer with over 800 hours in TCSM so far. And today we'll be ranking all 7 current family members based on their powers, attributes, and team placement from least to most fun and effective. Disclaimer, this is all preference and personal opinion, so don't take it personally if your favorite killer ends up in the bottom. Every family member has a place on their team and played optimally, so don't let what I say dissuade you from playing someone specifically if you have fun with them. One more note, Hands was released very recently, and during the making of this video, that makes him very prone to changes that may occur sooner rather than later, so keep that in mind as I rank everyone, since this placement may change or information may not be fully accurate. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the video, and if you do have any thoughts or questions, go ahead and share them in the comments. I love to hear new perspectives on stuff like this. I think it's super interesting, so just let me know if you have anything on your mind. Enjoy! Kicking off the list at number 7, the family member who's least appealing to play, in my opinion, has to be Sissy. Sissy is an unhinged killer who, until her return to Texas, was involved in numerous cults, including the infamous Manson cult. Despite her absolutely excellent visual and audio design and her ability to navigate crawl spaces, Sissy's bane power and slow base running speed both fall extremely short. Sissy's base 38 out of 50 blood harvesting attribute is the highest of all 7 current family members, while her base 10 out of 50 savagery is the lowest, which honestly feels awkward considering her overall design as a killer is on the aggressive side. There are definitely some fun builds on Sissy now that she's more balanced than when she was at launch. However, if you enjoy strong chases and playing interactively rather than gathering blood and playing passively, Sissy may not be for you. If you do prefer a blend of chase and passive gameplay, definitely check her out and feel free to drop your favorite Sissy builds in the comments. Nancy is a sinister murderer and the adoptive mother of Johnny, whose biological mother she killed in order to finally raise a child of her own. She's also the first DLC family member since the game's release in August 2023. Like Hitchhiker, Nancy has 3 traps available to her, which can be placed in crawl spaces and doorways to catch victims and ensnare them, causing them to stumble after every crawl through they perform until they remove the snares. Nancy can also sense the location of a random victim using her main spy ability. For me, Nancy is one of the last killers I'd personally choose to play, just based off the fact that, like Cook, she's more of a passive assist killer rather than a chaser. She's very slow, with low endurance and low to mid savagery, which makes me feel a little helpless when I catch a victim, even with Scout equipped. Although on paper, her blend of Cook, Hitch, and Sissy sounds extremely powerful, her traps and blood collecting are really her only saving graces. Sensing victims' locations is generally very weak when not playing with a group or using voice comms, as most victims' sense are either in the basement or in a location far from you that requires decent map knowledge to get to, and by the time you get there, they're most likely gone. I will say her voice acting is great, and her visual design is interesting as it fits very well into the game itself. And though I do wish they put more detail into her model to make her look her age, and her savagery was a bit higher, overall I do think Nancy fulfills her spot in every match by getting Grandpa leveled up as quickly as possible. If you prefer a more passive role or something that's more along the lines of support and information, Nancy would definitely be a good fit for you. But if you prefer an aggressive playstyle, I definitely would pick somebody else like Hitch, Johnny, Bubba, pretty much anyone else that has higher savagery and can traverse the map a little bit faster. Number 5 on our list is our very own Drayton Sawyer, aka The Cook. Cook is, in my opinion, a necessity in many matches due to his padlocks making door unlocks that lead to objectives very difficult, with perks like security pins and Nobody Escapes Hell, which makes picking locks and doors take much longer. Although his padlocks are powerful and his Seek ability, when leveled up, can be great info for other family members, his slow speed and extremely low endurance make him more of a patroller and support role rather than a chaser. This creates a perfect spot for him among the other original 2 family members, and Cook may not be my preferred family member, but by no means is he weak, and when someone plays him as intended, he can be very lethal. Number 4 on our cheeked up list. Sorry, number 4 on our family tier list is Johnny, the adopted quote-quote child of Nancy, whose sinister ways were passed down to him from Black Nancy herself. While Johnny's hunt ability leaves him much to be desired, his infamous swing lunges, high savagery, and high endurance carry him through matches as a lethal killer who can execute or incapacitate victims with a few big swings. Despite his power being a little boring and relatively ineffective in its current state, his potential to delete survivors quickly is both effective and terrifying. This may change in the coming months as Gunn, the publisher of the TCSM game, stated that a Johnny rework is currently in development. However, since no details have been published yet, Johnny has secured his spot as one of the most dangerous and aggressive family members to play. Placed at number 3 is a fan favorite, the Hitchhiker, also known as Nubbin Sawyer, who I would actually consider to be the most balanced family member in the game. Hitchhiker is a perfect example of how effective simplicity can be. There are no gimmicks or bells and whistles here, just a few bone traps, good vibes, and a knife. While Hitch is an excellent chaser by default, he has various perk metas that capitalize on both his ability to place traps or navigate crawl spaces. Getting creative with Hitch traps is a blast to learn, and few things are more satisfying in TCSM than catching someone in a well-placed trap. If you prefer a family member who can lock down objectives while also effectively chasing victims, Hitchhiker is definitely a great fit, and I highly recommend everyone tries him out as he's included in the base game for free. Instantly securing his spot as the second most fun and effective killer right out of his release in TCSM is Hands. This 7-foot-tall drag racing king, not to be confused with RuPaul's Drag Race, uses his brute strength and electro traps to both obliterate victims and stop them in their tracks. While his barge ability and electro traps are nice additions, his ripstall ability is the real showstopper here. Ripstall gives Hands the ability to quite literally rip off fuses and valve handles straight from the box and tank, as well as instantly turn the generator and battery right back on without any hesitation. While I do think this ability is pretty overtuned right now and will more than likely be nerfed in the coming months like Danny was, I still believe that he'll be common in most matches just based on his ability to shut down solid teams that attempt to rush escapes, especially when paired with other family members who lock down objectives like Hitch and Cook. Sitting at number 1 on the list, the man of the hour, horror icon, and certified big hulky boy is Leatherface, also known by many as Bubba. Leatherface is, by design, extremely simple and easy to play once you learn to harness his chainsaw sprint and overhead swings. That simplicity, however, should not be taken lightly. He's an absolute force to be reckoned with and can cut a team down in half before they even reach the surface if he plays the early game right. Though other family members like Hands have more bells and whistles in their kit to spread control across the map, Bubba can simply use his chainsaw sprint to patrol many, sometimes all objectives, and instantly delete someone who dares try to get through one of them. He's the only family member that starts in the basement, and applying that early game pressure is, many times, very critical for the outcome of a match. I can't tell you how many times on and off stream I've obliterated half or even the entire team in the basement before they can even get upstairs and make an inch of progress. Leatherface may not be complex or too overly interesting in terms of design, but he's absolutely lethal and fits perfectly into any combination of family members. The fun really begins once you fully level him up, as he won't stall from overhead swings and players are given much more control, thus giving you more wiggle room for error and an overall funner time speeding around the map, knowing it's just over once you find a victim. Alright y'all, that's it for our TCSM family ranked list. What are your thoughts? What do you agree or disagree with, and why? Drop it in the comments and let me know what you think, because honestly, you might just be able to change my mind. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you in Texas.